I'm here in Austria, going to one of the most beautiful passes in Europe. A lot of bikers today, and I'm with the M1000R over here, which is very easy to park anywhere, as you can see, very easy to maneuver, but it's extremely powerful. In fact, this is the world's most powerful naked. It's also a statement from BMW that the Ducati Street Fighter V4 is not going to be lonely at the top as far as naked bikes are concerned. And it's 2 horsepower more than the Ducati Street Fighter. And how much that translates in the real world, well, we are not sure, but everything is just overkill beyond a certain point. It is safe to say that I have the world's most powerful street naked underneath me on this road in bone stock condition, that is. This is the Timmelsjoch Hochalpenstrasse, which means high alpine road, and yes, behind me is snow and ice. And it seems that this day was made for the M1000R as far as I am concerned. And you know what, this is just the place to get a bike like this. What a beautiful day, and what a beautiful motorcycle. Starting with how it looks, BMW have really nailed it. It has a very broad look because of the winglets, which of course are also function along with form. They provide the necessary downforce for you to be stable on the autobahn, which is actually required for a motorcycle as powerful as this, because trust me, I took the bike already to around 240 kilometers an hour with my backpack and without the ability to tuck down because of the tang back on the motorcycle. People will say it is beautiful, but whether it is to everyone's liking, it is debatable. I love it a lot. It is very futuristic, drawn like a transformer, and I love that they have given it a proper Street Fighter look. They have not compromised on anything. This bike is meant to be treated with respect. 210 horsepower is enough to kill you. Well, even 40 horsepower is enough to kill you. But if you ride it like a hot-headed maniac with an adrenaline rush going through your veins every time another biker tries to overtake you, something like that, then I'm telling you, you will get yourself killed on this. And that is because the engine is from an S1000RR. In fact, this engine makes more power than the S1000RR, which again brings me to question, how is it possible? But make no mistake that if you want to have the bragging rights, if you want to have the most powerful naked motorcycle on the planet, then this is it. But wait, the thing is that this bike might have a lot of power, but is it usable power, and does it translate to a lot of fun on the road? There is a lean spot in the power and in torque between 6 to 8,000 RPM. And that lean spot has been addressed partially by BMW in the 2024 model by modifying, I think, the shift cam technology timings, which is another name for the variable valve technology.
It has enough torque without me downshifting and enough power actually. So clearly the shift cam, the variable valve technology is working for this to be a better road bike. So there you go, in 4th gear from from around 50-55. It pulled rather effortlessly.
I feel that this bike pulls just fine in any gear that you want. It's got so much power, so much torque. It's just a matter of if you're doing a lot of sporty riding, a lot of hairpin bends, and of course you have to downshift and then take it ahead. So I really enjoy this bike. Timmelsjoch is not exactly pass with a lot of corners like the Stelvio pass, but even here I think I got a little bit of chance to blast out of the corners on this, and it is scary, although it's got all the electronics working overtime. Of course, the most important being traction control and maybe cornering ABS, but yeah, I hope that you never need it. So this bike did inspire me confidence, along with the tires which were there, which I think they are pretty grippy considering that it also rained and the roads were super wet, and I stuck to the dynamic mode. I did not change it to rain mode. So the tires are doing really well. They are Bridgestone stock on this motorcycle here in Europe at least. The performance is right up there. In terms of weight also, this is 199 kilos approximately wet, and the Street Fighter is also I think 199. So it should not make much of a difference, but I feel the Street Fighter is much more narrower, much more sleeker, because of course that is based on the Panigale. This is not really I think a stripped down S1000RR. I'm not sure. There are little bits which seem different to me, and the front end here, it reminds me of really the Transformers, of somebody wearing a hood or a mask, maybe like the Iron Man. This is no doubt a beautiful looking motorcycle, and especially like I said earlier, the view of the rider is pretty clean. It's got a very nice 6.5 inches I think TFT, which gives you all the information and more than you need. Keyless FOB, and that is something which I don't like, because you probably tend to lose it a little bit more than physical keys. But yes, almost all the bikes now have them. And then because of the winglets here, it gives you, aside from the downforce, a very massive look to the motorcycle. It comes across as more broad than actually it is, so it adds the right amount of mass to the shoulders, just makes it a little bit more like a Street Fighter or a muscle motorcycle. And this one also has the heating grips, and this also has foldable levers, and really top of the line premium quality stuff over here, and a lot of M's written everywhere, so that you've got the top of the line stuff, and other people also obviously know. When I first sat on the motorcycle, I was expecting the handlebars to be little more up for some reason, but they are like almost like flat out, and they are of course bent towards you a little bit, but it takes some times to getting used to. You tend to think that, oh, this is a naked, so it will be really comfortable, but that is not the case. Hill hold control on this, which is now I think a standard on most BMW motorcycles. Sometimes it helps you, but of course the more electronics we have, the more dependent we get on it, because I started motorcycling in an era where motorcycles were still raw. My first big bike was the Fireblade 1000RR in leader class, then the Blackbird, the Yamaha R1. None of them had even traction control. For God's sake, the Hayabusa first generation didn't even have ABS, and that bike is like literally the widowmaker. Today's generation will be learning or maneuvering these kind of motorcycles, and somehow I think when you are driving an auto, you just don't know how to drive a stick shift. It's something like that with motorcycles also, but I think it can literally translate to life and death if you don't know how to actually ride without any electronic aids, because if something fails or if you rely too much on electronics, I think it can be really, really serious. Substantially more expensive than the S1000RR in India. Well, the S1000RR standard is around 20 lakhs ex-showroom, and this, hold your breath, is 33 lakhs ex-showroom for the standard version, and the M competition version is 38 lakhs if I'm not wrong. I still cannot wrap my head around why is this, that this is costlier than the full-fared version. Well, would I buy it? Yes, if I had the money, I would definitely go for it. Along with other motorcycles to complete my garage. This, the inline fours, you know, it's got the usual characteristic, very minimal vibrations. The seat is not really comfortable, but then when you want to ride it in a sporty way, I don't think you should have too much of sponge or you know, that buffer. It should let you be where you are, you know, so that is what this seat does. So overall, I think it's a fantastic machine, like that you would expect from the BMW stable, but it's insanely expensive. You know, it's really in the rarefied echelons of people who can afford this, and you can probably do a lot of things with this. Take it on the track, do touring, and of course, talking about touring, there is no wind protection to speak of, but I think you can get an aftermarket accessory for that, maybe a fly screen at best, but then it would probably ruin the look a little bit, so we might be back to square one on that. Yes, pretty cool.